you've installed your FS230 or FS220 flow meter and initiated flow through your pipe. The FS230 responds and is providing proper flow readings, but due to the high flow rates of your application, you would like to change the resolution of both your flow rate display and totalizer. In this example, the flow indication is in gallons per minute, and the totalizer is reading directly in gallons, which may cause it to quickly overflow. A better solution would be to change both indications to read 1,000 gallons or K gallons resolution. This is easily accomplished with a bit of programming. If you access the main menu, then select the Setup section, we can choose process values where display units for volume, mass, and flow velocity can be selected. If we now choose volume flow, we can see the available flow rate units. A quick scan through the available selections reveals there isn't a selection for K gallons per minute. Therefore, we'll have to make one. Select Custom Units. Now enter a name for the units you wish to create. Since we want K gallons per minute, we will enter KGPM. Simply scroll through the alphabet to write your unit name. We'll speed up the video here to get through this quickly. Now that you've created a name, you'll need to enter the custom conversion factor. The FS230 measurements are based on SI units. What's an SI unit, you ask? Well, SI stands for System International. It's an internationally recognized system of standardized measurement units. In the case of volume flow rate, the SI unit is in cubic meters per second. We therefore need to create a conversion factor based on these rate units. It's really quite simple. If we look at SI conversion for volume flow rate, we find that 1 cubic meter per second is the equivalent of 264.17 gallons per second. 1 cubic meter per second is also the equivalent of 0.26417 kilogallons per second, or thousands of gallons per second. Therefore, if we take the 0.26417 and multiply it times 60 seconds, we come up with a value of 15.85 kgpm per cubic meter per second. And therefore, our conversion factor is 15.85. Now that we've created our custom unit, KGPM, we can now enter the custom conversion factor that we just calculated. If we now scroll down to the custom conversion factor line and hit the right arrow, we can enter the value we calculated of 15.85. Now that we've created the custom unit and the custom conversion factor, we can select our new custom unit as our flow rate unit. So now we can scroll back up to Units, press the right arrow, and when we scroll through the list now, we will find our custom unit all the way down at the bottom. And there it is, K gallons. So we hit the right arrow to select it, and then the right arrow to enter it, and we're now reading in K gallons per minute. So if we now exit the menu, you can see the effect that we've created, and our flow reading has now changed to KGPM with 2 decimal places. So we're reading 4.64 kilogallons per minute. Now that we've taken care of our flow rate display, we have the same situation for the totalizer. It's reading in gallons, and there's such high resolution that we will quickly overflow it. We can make the same type of adjustment to the totalizer display as we did to the flow rate display by again accessing the setup menu, scrolling down to totalizers, pressing the right arrow, and selecting totalizer 1. Again, we can select process values and volume flow. If we look at the process values, you'll notice that there is no selection for kilogallons or K gallons, so we'll have to create one. Again, we can return to the custom units, press the right arrow, and enter our custom unit name. In this case, we'll enter KGAL for K gallons. Once you've entered the name, press the right arrow to say OK, and then go to the custom conversion factor. If we look at total volume units, we find again that 1 cubic meter is the equivalent of 264.17 gallons, as we found for the flow rate units. 1 cubic meter is also the equivalent of 0.26417 kilogallons. Therefore, there's our conversion factor. 0.26417 kilogallons is the equivalent of 1 cubic meter. As we just calculated, our custom conversion factor is 0.26417. So we press the right arrow, move your cursor over the decimal point, and press the up arrow to move it to the left so that you have enough space for 5 digits. Once you've done that, enter your digits 0.26417 and say OK. After you've created your conversion factor, you can also select the number of decimal places you want. I'll select 3 decimal places so we have resolution down to 1 gallon units. With that selected, we can now scroll back up to the unit selection and actually select our custom unit. Hit the right arrow, scroll through the list down to the bottom where you'll find the custom unit that you've created, K gallons. Press the right arrow to select it, press the right arrow again to enter it, and you can exit out to the display screen to see the effect. You now have flow rate units in kgpm and you're totalizing in K gallon units with 3 decimal places so that you have resolution down to 1 gallon. You can change the number of decimal places as you see fit to either get more resolution or to get more capacity in your totalizer. These custom units apply for any kind of special measurement you'd like to make, whether you want kilobarrels per hour or mega gallons per minute, or whatever you might have that's special that's not in the menu. You can create it yourself with a simple conversion factor relative to the SI unit that's indicated. Thanks for your attention. I hope this helps. Bye for now.
Siemens. Ingenuity for life.